Welcome to this explainer. We're diving straight into something that is completely shaking up the food industry, the strict new 2026 Food Safety Standard Amendment regulations for vegan foods in India. Whether you're a food business operator, an importer, or honestly just a curious consumer, these new rules are radically changing the landscape of what can legally be called vegan. We're going to map out exactly what this means for the factory line, the back office, and those retail shelves you browse every single day. All right, let's look at our roadmap. First, we'll define what true vegan food actually is. Second, we'll hit the factory and production rules. Third, we're covering packaging, labeling, and display. And finally, number 4, compliance and import rules. So before a product ever even reaches a grocery store shelf or begins full-scale production for that matter, we have to stop and ask the absolutely crucial question: what legally makes a food vegan? For years, the term has kind of been thrown around loosely in marketing. But with these 2026 regulations, that word is officially locked down with a very rigid legal definition. Section 1, defining true vegan food. Now, the sheer depth of this new rule of exclusion is honestly staggering. It's not just about, skipping the obvious ingredients like meat, dairy, or honey. The regulation explicitly bans animal products at any microscopic stage of the process. We're talking additives, flavorings, enzymes, carriers, and even processing aids. It literally eliminates the loopholes. So, for example, if an otherwise plant-based ingredient was filtered through animal bone char, which actually is historically pretty common in sugar refinement, boom, it instantly disqualifies the entire product, no exceptions. And the rules push the boundaries way beyond just the ingredient list. You absolutely cannot call a product vegan if it involved animal testing for any purpose, even safety evaluations, unless a specific regulatory authority explicitly mandates it. Plus, there is a super strict prohibition on the unintended presence of non-vegan substances. You can't just shrug and say, oops, a little dairy got mixed in. The legal tolerance for cross-contamination is now functionally zero. Moving right along to Section 2, factory and production rules. Now that phrase, unintended presence, is where this gets incredibly serious. Accidental cross-contamination, that's now a major compliance violation. The food business operator is legally on the hook to design their entire pipeline, so production, processing, and even distribution, with strict precautions to guarantee that absolutely no non-vegan substances slip in. Let's talk about what is basically a massive operational headache: shared production lines. If a factory isn't 100% dedicated vegan, they have to execute a flawless protocol. Step 1, halt the non-vegan production. Step 2, carry out an exhaustive, deep clean of all machinery, equipment, utensils, and surfaces. Think about the sheer cost and effort of deep cleaning massive industrial vats. You literally have to scrub everything down to the very last spoon before you can even think about starting your vegan run. And to make sure nobody cuts corners during that intense cleaning process, the FSS explicitly mandates a forensic level of traceability. There has to be a clear paper trail establishing exactly where everything came from, all the way up to the manufacturer level. So if an inspector comes knocking, you need the records to prove that your supply chain and your shared line cleaning protocols are absolutely bulletproof. All right, Section 3, packaging, labeling, and display. This brings up a massive change that is going to impact your everyday grocery run. Under the new rules, retailers can no longer haphazardly jumble vegan and non-vegan merchandise together on the same shelf. Vegan food has to be stored and displayed in a completely distinguishable manner. It's a real game changer, designed to give you, the consumer, total clarity and prevent those annoying accidental mix-ups at the checkout. Then there's the mandate for the official logo. Every single package of vegan food must carry the specified government vegan logo. But the absolutely crucial phrase to remember here is after approval. Next time you see that logo on a package, know that it's not just some clever graphic whipped up by a marketing department. It means that brand survived the regulatory gauntlet to earn a formal endorsement. It is the real deal. But getting that vegan certification doesn't just give a product a free pass on all the other rules. The 2026 regulations make it crystal clear that vegan foods must still strictly adhere to existing frameworks, specifically the overarching labeling and display regulations from 2020. So you still need all the standard nutritional facts, expiry dates, and safety labels that are required of any other food item. And finally, Section 4, compliance and import rules. So, the actual compliance pathway depends entirely on where the food originates. For domestic food business operators, they deal directly with the local framework, submitting a detailed application to their licensing authority. Importers, on the other hand, they face a strict border wall. No vegan food products can be imported into the country unless it comes with a certificate issued by recognized authorities of the exporting country. It basically ensures that international products meet these same rigorous standards before they even touch the local market. Looking at these incredibly strict, top-to-bottom regulations, from microscopic processing aids and zero-tolerance cross-contamination, all the way to distinguishable retail displays and mandatory exporting certificates, it leaves us with one massive question. With traceability mandated up to the manufacturer and the logo requiring formal government approval, is the era of fake vegan marketing finally over? It certainly seems like the regulatory framework is demanding total honesty from farm to shelf. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep questioning what's on your labels, and I'll see you next time.